Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris Outer, Slunger Cat Outdoors, back with you again this afternoon for another live show out here on the water. Got an itch that I want to try to fill tonight, and I want to bring you guys along with me. So I want to make sure, if this is your first time joining the show, I want to say thank you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. As always, leave your questions and your comments. That's where we get our information from. So tonight, to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're doing, you know, it's late summer. The water is extremely hot. It's like 84 degrees, but I'm going to try to catch a late summertime flathead out of a big old tree that you guys seen in the thumbnail picture. And unfortunately, the only bait I got is frozen skipjack. So I'm going to get things baited up, let some people get joined in, and get this thing started. You know, it's you never know unless you try. So I got a big tree, I got bait. Unfortunately, it is only skipjack, frozen skipjack. I tried to catch some shad this evening as soon as I got off work, but unfortunately I couldn't. So yeah, I got some sinkers on. I got some rods waiting on me. I'm going to get things baited up and get this party started. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's see what we can catch tonight. Late summertime flathead. Let's see if we can get it done. So to start with, let's start with kind of showing you guys what we're using tonight. And I'm using two different rigs. We got just a little bit of current. And when I say little bit, we have like 0.2, 0.3 miles per hour. When it comes to current, that is very little. I got drift socks out, but if the wind blows me real hard, I'm not going to really hold very well. But tonight we're going to be using Warrior Cat medium heavy rod. Tip back here. That tip is super soft. Okay, and then this is actually 40-pound Berkley big game. That's a 100-pound crane swivel, 80-pound Andy monster leader line, and I'm using a Kentucky rig tonight. That's a Diachi D85 7/0. If you guys have not seen or know what the Kentucky rig is, I've done a couple videos. Make sure you go back and you check those out. And then we got down to just a snap swivel and got about 6 ounces of weight on tonight. That's more than enough to get this thing on bottom and hold it. But hey, while I'm getting this one baited up, make sure and let me know. Give me that thumbs up if you guys can hear me good, if you guys can see good. I wanted to try to make sure we got this good tonight. Last week I tried it live on down farther down the river, but you know, unfortunately wasn't able to do that down there around that lock and dam. So come back up here, found some wood, and we're going to try to get a late summertime daytime frozen skipjack only flathead in the boat. Let's see if we can get it done. And we're using skipjack. Like I said, it's frozen. Just cutting it into chunks. And one of the reasons I'm using this double hook rig on most of them is I want to be able to put as much scent in that water as I possibly can, you know, with the rods I got. And I'm just hooking these to the top right there. Get little chunks. Now we're sitting at about 20 foot of water, but behind us where that tree is and that drop off, it kind of goes down into like 25, 30 foot of water. Okay. Now the second rig we're going to use is just a Carolina rig. Got the slip sinker, the stop, 100-pound crane swivel, down to about 18 inches of Andy monster leader line, right on down to that D85 Diachi 7/0. I'm gonna put a big old head on this one. Now when I hook my heads, I like to, oh, he's a slippery little feller. I like to open the gill up just like that right there, right underneath the bottom of the jaw. And I put my hook right underneath of it, and I like to come out that right that nose hole right there. That's the way I like it. Kind of helps it keep from doubling back and hooking itself. Get him out there. Now I'm also going to use some 5/0 Diachis just to kind of give it some smaller bait. And this will be the size chunks I put on that little 5/0 hook. They're about a 1.5 by 1.5 chunk. Now I'm not watching my rod, so you guys see something, you better yell. All right, we got all them out now. If you guys are just joining me, what we're doing tonight is we're setting up on a single log that's laying right on a little bit of a drop, and you know, we're trying to catch a late summertime flathead. The only downside to that is don't have live bait, don't have gizzard shad. All we got is frozen skipjack, but we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna stay here about 30 minutes while I'm talking to you guys, and whew, it's hot out here this evening. See what we can get out of this tree. And what I've done is I've anchored up on it. I went up, you know, I'm about 60 feet away from that tree, and then I've just kind of scattered my baits out around that tree behind me. Hope everybody's having a good evening tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining me. If you guys are enjoying the information that I've been able to put out here lately, make sure you give me that thumbs up. You can let me know what you guys want to see. This is, you know, we do this for you guys. I want to make sure that you guys are learning everything that you want to learn. So make sure you guys are asking questions. As we go through this evening, I'm going to answer questions, hopefully, as I see them. I don't have Harley with me this evening, so he usually reads the questions off, and I get to answer them. But if I don't answer it, I'll go back and watch it and make sure that, you know, I do answer it. Somebody asked what size drift socks I got out. I've actually got some pretty big drift socks. I've got a 54 on one side and a 36 on the other. And that seems to be holding me pretty decent right now. Daniel, let me see here. That's a good question, Daniel. Daniel asks why. I'm gonna cut this off here real quick. Well, I don't have to cut it off. I want you guys to see this anyway. This is something I've been trying here the last couple weeks, and I'm really. You guys make sure you tell me if I get a bite now. But anyway, this is something I've been trying here the last couple weeks, and I really like them. They're called easy snaps. And you see the swivel's just, you know, dangling there. I got the main line tied to it. They're very strong. There we go. It's super easy to use. And you can just take that snap right off there. So, somebody asked there a minute ago, Daniel asked, why on these is it kind of snelled backwards? Well, to be honest, Daniel, I have a better hookup ratio with the hook, you know, like this, just on the Kentucky rig, okay, just on the double Kentucky rig, than I do a regular snell. You know, a regular snell, mine, you know, is the opposite way of this, okay? And or what you know, most would call normal, the normal direction of a snail. And I'll show you. That's where I really like these rig wrap things. I can come right in here and show you guys some stuff. Oh, there we go. Let's see. All right, so this is. I'll show you guys what Daniel's talking about. Okay, so on the double hook rig, the snell's coming out the back. On a regular snell, the snell's coming out the front, okay? And I just, on the double hook rig itself, solely on the double hook rig, I get a better hookup ratio with the hook and the direction, just like that, okay? And if you have never seen me tie one of these, Daniel, I got a couple videos specifically for the double hook rig and the Kentucky rig, so make sure you go back, you get a chance to go back and take a look at them. I might as well tie this other rod up while I got a chance. Tell you what, I haven't throwed a big old piece of bait for a while. Yeah, smelling, Jason. Let's see, watch, this is why I like this thing. So you just pick the rig you want out of your rig wrap, put it right on there. That joker's ready to go. Well, Daniel, the reason I think I don't specifically, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know, you know, and pull us back up 100% of why it makes the hookup ratio better, but the reason I think, you know, it does is because where that leader is so short, it exposes that that hook point more, and it's a different action, more so then say this on a long leader would have a different action as far as being hooked than this. That's my theory. I don't want to sit here and say that that is the reason, because 100% sure I can't tell you. I can only say that, you know, over the years of me trying it different ways and both ways side by side, that is the reason, you know, I've had a better hookup ratio. So hope that makes sense to you. But I have not thrown a big piece of bait for a while. So it's time to put a whole skipjack on. They say, if you want big fish, you gotta throw big bait. I don't always agree with that, but I'm gonna throw one out there. Alright. Oh yeah, look at that feller. I kind of skinny back there a little bit to let that get down to where that blood will start soaking out. Get a sinker on it. I tell you what, I am ready for some cooler weather, more current. To be honest, I am ready to get down the Mississippi River. So, what I'm going to do with this double hook rig, okay, this is the trailer hook, this is the main hook. I'm going to take a main hook and I'm going to put it right through, just like I'd hook that head a minute ago. Right out that nose, okay? And I'm going to take this other one, and anybody that's ever bass fished will kind of understand this. You lay it and kind of visualize where it's going to come out at. And then I'm going to bury that hook point, and I want that hook to be as straight as I possibly can while I'm doing this. And now you got that baby all double hooked up. So if a small fish comes up here and tries to suck it in, you can still get him. If a big fish inhales it, you got him. Let's get that baby out there. All right, now I threw that one. I took that one and I just launched it out there in the middle. For anybody that has watched some of my videos before, I do that a lot. And I like to do that, you know, especially in waters that have blue cats in them, you know, that are out there in that deeper water, maybe on that ledge, you know, farther out, cruising. You know, I like to try to pick them up as well. Jason, I'll be at MRM. I wanted to do Alton, but I don't think I'll be able to have the chance to do that one. I really wish I could though. There's going to be a lot of good people there. A lot of good. It's going to be a real good tournament. Jason, if you can, in the comments, leave a link to that Alton tournament and what the payout is and things like that. For anybody that's ever been to Lake Erie, uh, you guys will already know this, but I went to Lake Erie over the weekend, Sandusky Bay, and it is one of the absolute best fisheries I've ever fished. For whether it be channel cats, blue cats, whatever you want to talk, catch. It's strictly blue cats there, but you will not find a place where you can just catch fish over and over like that place. It is absolutely unreal. If you guys have any questions that I have not answered, maybe while I was casting or something, make sure you pop them back up. Yeah, Kevin, it is, man. That place is it's unreal. That's the only place that I've ever went to and never been able to sit down while catching fish. I mean, it absolutely was nonstop, 4 poles, just one right after another. Unreal, absolutely unreal. Big country outdoors, yeah. I'm on the High River. And it is very little current, very little flow. I mean, it's very slow. But we're out here. We're trying to catch a late summertime flathead off a big old nasty tree right on the drop of a ledge. Roger, that's a good question, Roger. And Roger asks, what temperature do I look for the flatheads to really start picking up? It's a combination of water temperature and time of year. Somebody just asked what the water temperature was right now. It's 84 degrees. But Roger, to answer your question, I like that whenever that water temperature starts down into the low 70s, the flathead bite will really start to pick up a little bit. And whenever it hits, into that 60-degree mark, it can be phenomenal. But usually that is like Octoberish, time. We've caught flatheads, depending on the winter, all the way up until, December. So, that October into November time can be really, really good around this area for flatheads. And with that being said, that time of year is really good for blue cats too. And this, the area we're fishing tonight has some really good blue cats. We're in West Virginia waters where they protect their fish and take pride in keeping commercial fishing away from here, so I got to give a shout out to West Virginia for doing what they do. They do a phenomenal job. So thought I heard something, figured I better pop around. Yeah, Hagen, if I get skunked, I'm just going to blame it on the big moon. Roger, how'd you do at Ravenswood last night? Hopefully you guys caught some big fish. I didn't see no pictures, but I have not been on social media much today or at all this week, so I've been kind of slacking on the social media stuff, and I apologize for all that. I got some videos that whenever I get a chance to get edited out to come up for you guys, I've got the Wicked Tuna video. I've got another big flathead on video, and now I have some video from Sandusky Bay. So hopefully I can get that stuff out so you guys can watch it soon. It's starting to sit on the shelf a little too long. There's some new people that are just coming in. And as always, make sure you guys are asking your questions on there. I've kind of, Harley's not with me tonight. He usually helps me out a little bit, but he's not with me tonight. So I'm missing some questions. Not yet. We're trying though. Yeah. Oh, do you? Yeah. Yeah. Do what? Skipjack herring. Yeah. I tried to find some gizzard shad this evening before I started, but I couldn't find any. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I don't know where I was at, but for you all that are just getting back on or just coming on, we're on the high river. We're fishing a big old lay down tree, sunken tree out here. I would like to be more out in the middle of the river where there's more current, but unfortunately the wind was blowing pretty hard whenever I got set up, so I want to make sure you guys could hear me good, so I come in closer to the bank. But yeah, I'm trying to catch a late summertime flathead. Hopefully we can get one to bite here soon. We've been here, looks like, for about 26 minutes. Those are some good comments rolling by. I appreciate all the good comments. And yeah, like Roger said, if you guys want to help me out and get my attention, make sure you put @ChrisSouders on there. That way I can ask, or I can answer those questions. It kind of helps me see what people are asking. Yeah, big country. I do fish Nitro area. That's a good place to fish. I love fishing there. I like going there in early spring, late fall, and in the winter time. Johnny asked, why do I want current for flatheads? The reason I like current for flatheads, and the reason I like current for any catfish, basically, is it kind of helps put those fish in a certain area. It makes them swim more, which makes them obviously want to eat more, and it helps get that scent to them a lot faster than if it was just still. But especially you don't want a whole bunch of current, but you want for me particularly, I like to have about 1 mile an hour. It kind of really puts those fish where they need to be, helps me get my scent. I can anchor up on just about anything I want and fish just about anywhere I want with that kind of speed. Dieter asked if I wasn't live, would I have moved already? Probably not. As slow as this current is, I'd probably stay here just a little bit. Corey, about as far north as I go, or as I've been, is Marietta. I like it up that area, Belpre, Parkersburg area, but I want to go on up into Wheeling and that area. Uh, 308. I'm using a Abigarcia Alpha Mar blue and black. You actually cannot buy them no more. They're probably one of my favorite reels that I've ever used. Next to them is the Penn Squalls. The Penn Squalls are very good reels, but I'm using a medium heavy Warrior Cat rod 7.6, 40-pound big game, Diachi D85 7/0 and 5/0 hooks, and we've got a couple different rigs. Got a couple Kentucky rigs out there, double hook Kentucky rigs, and we got a couple just single hook rigs out there as well. And it is so far no bites. I really hope we don't get skunked. We can't get skunked. If I get skunked, I'll never hear the end of it from Harley. Harley, I hope you're watching so you can see me get skunked and not catch a flathead. Chad, the reason I switched to lighter rods in the summertime, is the softer tip. So there's less current than in the spring and the fall. But even in the fall, I will use a lighter tip rod. But it's mainly because those fish are more sensitive. They will come up and they'll grab that bait, and they will pull down just a little bit and let loose. Pull down a little bit and let loose. And with that good soft tip, that good limber tip, they can pull it down. And they really won't feel that rod so much, and it enables them to just go ahead and turn around, and helps you, because before they know it, that rod's already loaded up and they're hooked. I do. I actually, as of right now, I will be in Texas for the Texoma tournament, barring nothing else. Nothing happens between now and then. Mike, no, I'm not. I'm not planning on fishing the tournament in Huntington. I got a lot of stuff going on. I've gotten real busy real quick. So unfortunately I won't be able to fish that one. Dieter, I hope you're right, buddy. I hope you're right. This is a very good place to catch one that size. Big old flathead living in a big old tree this time of year. That's picture perfect. But not having current and only having frozen skipjack really puts a hinder, on my confidence. Carson, no, I will not be fishing the Cabela's Classic. I got to get qualified for it, and I don't think I'm gonna have time to do that. So let's see something here. Let's see. Somebody asked that water temperature will be in the 90s. How deep of water would I target? Texoma, I'm taking for granted you're talking about the lake part of it. If you're talking about a lake and it's that hot, I would not fish deep. I mean, you find a thermocline. Obviously, there'll be a thermocline in it somewhere. But, find that and fish above that thermocline or shallower. Okay. Just remember, that thermocline means, you'll pick it up on the sonar, and when you see that, you want to stay away from it. There's actually a good, if I remember right, and if I'm wrong, Dieter, correct me, but Dieter done a video that was pretty good on the thermocline. If you guys ought to go back and watch that. I think you guys can learn some good information from that. Dieter, if you can, go back and put a link in there. Yeah, the Texoma tournament is in January, and I'm looking forward to it. I've never been there. Yes, I think the crew out there putting the Texoma tournament on is they're stepping it up. 40,000 to win for that Texoma tournament. There's a lot of people. For me, for instance, it's going to take me 2 days to get there if I drive. Thankfully, I've got some things worked out, and I should be able to just fly out. Have I gotten a bite while I've been talking to you guys? Kevin, Chad asked how much weight can you throw with a medium heavy. I regularly throw, 10, 8, 10, 12 ounces, even more. But, normally Normally I would throw 8 or 10 ounces, no matter what time of year. But right now we just don't have no current, so I'm throwing less. But you can definitely throw 8, 10, 12 ounces with it easily. Uh, I do on a regular basis. No, not tonight, Roger. No planer boards tonight. My favorite place to fish for flatheads. Uh, I really like the Tennessee River in Alabama. That's a good place. There's a lot of big fish down there. Um, up towards Gunnersville and that area. But right here at home is good water too. Being able to go, I'm fortunate enough to be able to drive 35, 40 minutes to the Ohio River, and if the conditions are right, you can come out here and catch, 20 fish a day, and some of those being the 20s, maybe a 40 or even one bigger. Well, I tell you what, things are not looking very promising on this one tonight, but I know there's a lot of people in here watching. Uh, you know, uh, for those of you that are just getting on, we're out here on the water, on the High River, trying to catch some late summertime flatheads. We've been here for about 30 minutes now. Uh, Daniel asked, what's my favorite time of year for flatheads? May. May is good and October is good, but May is my favorite time of year for flatheads. Here where I live, Southern Ohio, West Virginia borderline, that's, prime time, May, for flatheads for us. When that water temperature hits 60 degrees in the springtime, it's on. The flatheads turn on, and it's big baits, big fish, and a good time. Dams are not really producing current right now. There are some, you know, that on the lower parts of the river that have generators, and those will produce current. But on the sections that I fish, we don't have the generators. And it's not going to put out much, in this area where I'm fishing, unfortunately. Somebody asked what we're using for bait, and I had to dig in a freezer, but we're using skipjack. It's still good and bloody, you guys can see. Uh-oh, we got a bite. Yep, he didn't stick around. This time of year is tough. They had a tournament above this area and below this area over the weekend, and both tournaments, I think, were like 50 pounds to win it, with some really, really good fishermen in it. And that is, some low weights. But it's that time of year, it's hot, no current. What happens when all six hit? Big old smiles. Yeah. But somebody asked if I was using live or cut. Hey. Keep an eye on that one. I use a right like this right now. What I'm doing is just an iPhone 6. I'm not real technical savvy. I got a jet ski coming. It's that time of year. Anyway, no, I am actually hard anchored got the 30-pound Hurricane put out the front, 2 drift socks out the back, a 54-inch drift sock and a 36-inch drift sock. But somebody asked earlier about the bait. I'm using frozen skipjack. I tried to catch some gizzard shad as soon as I got off work, but unfortunately didn't have enough time. Tried to catch some moon eye. Unfortunately, couldn't catch none of them either before I started. So we got a bunch of frozen skipjack laid out there. Yeah, river rat. Yeah, yeah. Um, Live bait. Somebody asked, what do I think is better this time of year, live or cut? You know, for me, when it gets hot like this, and there's a couple good fish just swam under. Let me try doing something real quick. I'm gonna put some fresh bait on this, and I've been noticing a couple fish hanging around right underneath the boat on the sonar. They're right underneath the boat, and they're moving around right there. Maybe I can pick one of them up. Stick that down rod right there beside the boat, and that'll kind of be in that area where those are at. Any pointers on fishing new waters? Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, pop back up there and what you mean by new waters. New waters as in areas that just newer areas within the area that you fish, or actually going to a whole new town, state, that kind of thing. Pop that back up, or what you mean by that, and I'll watch and pay attention and see it, and we'll talk about it. Okay, so new lakes you've never fished. So some good pointers for that. You know, I have some videos, you know, on fishing new waters and preparing to go to new waters. So make sure you go back and search for those videos where I go in depth on, you know, how to break a lake down, how to prepare for it. But some quick pointers are, do a lot of homework. Get online and research as much information as you can. And what I mean by research information, I don't want you to go to YouTube and find people fishing in that area and look for where they're fishing. I want you to go and find information on, you know, how they're fishing, how they're catching those fish. You know, information like that, more so than where they're fishing, what time of year they're fishing, and kind of get an understanding of what those fish do in that geographical area, you know, before you go. Patriot, what we call perch, are bluegill or red ear, you know, things like that, shell crackers. That's what we call perch. Yes, we do have perch in this area. They're good. Now, if you're talking about the perch that, let's say, like, you know, some of the North Carolina, South Carolina guys talk about white perch. No, we do not have those here. We have white bass and striped bass, hybrid bass, stuff like that, but no white perch that I'm aware of anyway. But flatheads at dams. Uh, when it comes to dam fishing, there's, you just never know what you're going to catch. It can be flatheads or it can be, blue cats. Me personally at dams, I like to try to find seam lines, uh, you know, areas where those fish that's going to get funneled. Something on the bottom that's going to funnel those fish, or the gates themselves will kind of dictate where those fish or how those fish are going to be able to get up into that dam, um, and then set up in those areas. If it looks, and be careful. There's a lot of people that get hurt, get killed. Um, you know this. You know this industry, this sport lost a good man, and I know a lot of you guys, probably know him, have seen it on Facebook, and stuff. We need to be careful. We need to be, make sure that we're doing everything we can do to go back to our families and be with our families. But and a dam can be very dangerous. But just be careful when you're going up in there. If you're going to try to anchor, be very careful on how you do it, because you can get turned around backwards. You told me to look right, and I did. I think it was a joke. Or did I get a bite? Oh, oh, oh. We might have a fish messing with it. We might. Oh, that was a big bait too. Oh, oh, look at him. He's just easing it down. I'm crossing my fingers. You guys cross yours too. Talk this fish into eating. Come on. You got sweet talk him. If I could sing and serenade this fish right here, I would. But you guys don't want to hear that. Well, we got something. I don't know if I want to bring this thing up in the boat with me. Boy, he's mad. Phew-wee. Man, that thing stinks. Well, he gone. And he got me, he cut me on the way out. That daggone thing. Whew, man, that was one nasty smelling Man, that stuck. Phew. And he done went and pooped all over the back deck. And he broke my line. And he cut me. I know, John. It took a whole size skipjack. That's unbelievable. Well, I might as well retie while I'm here. I was really hoping that was that 45-pounder Dieter. I was really hoping. Yeah. And you know what's weird is he didn't bite like a regular gar. He bit like a, like a flathead, just real slow. That was very odd. Very odd. But let's get another bait back out there. Well, James, I wouldn't really say the skunk is gone. I wasn't a catfish. Watching from Canada. Hey, I want to thank you for watching from Canada. That is awesome. Roger, did you ever tell me whether you guys caught anything last night or not? Hopefully you guys did. Yeah. There's some questions going by, and I apologize, fellas. This is what I'm gonna put back on it. Well, I put that wrong. We'll put a sinker slide on. I'm gonna put my little rubber Team Catfish rubber stop, bumper stop, and then I'm gonna tie a improved clinch knot. We're on the West Virginia, Ohio border. Watching from Germany, man, I tell you, that is awesome. I want to thank you guys for watching from Canada, Germany, Ohio, West Virginia, wherever you guys are from. Yes, John Miller, you got to love the speed of rig wrap. I mean, we're back up and running already. But, I can't thank you guys enough for, what you guys do for me. I don't get the chance to do as much for you all as what I'd like to. But, I try to put out as much information as I possibly can. And, help you guys catch more and bigger fish. And I hope you guys do. Wow. So, I don't know if you guys can hear that thing, but that is one monster horsefly. Well, it looks like I've either got to be done fishing for the night or move, because I've been here for almost half hour and all we've got is a gar. That is way too much. So hopefully you guys have learned something tonight. I'll go back through, read some questions, and answer some later on tonight, maybe tomorrow sometime. But I want to thank everybody for watching, especially you guys from Germany and Canada and everywhere else. Man, that is awesome. You're making this old boy smile. I really appreciate that. But thank you guys for watching tonight. Hope you learned something. Make sure you're leaving your questions in the comments below so that we can get more content to do more shows just like this. That old dude is scooting on that thing, that jet ski. Till next time, we'll catch you on the water. God bless. Peace.